Atlantic. I'm all the way from Milwaukee to see us, and really excited to see Chris, who's from the Twin Cities, so it's all going to be good. And they're going to be happy to be here just like I am. I was in Missouri, and I said to the audience, "It's nice to be here in Missouri." And this guy yelled out from the back, "Yeah, well, we say Missouri." So I said, "You say it wrong." Apparently they're a little brighter next door in Mississippi. I'm not saying that people in Missouri are stupid, but I don't think the bookmobile's been there in about 50 years. All right, you guys, I think you're warmed up now. Let's get the show. Okay, our next act, and I'm just going to grab my little, yes, here we go. So I just need to listen to this. Our next act is all the way from, actually originally from Chicago, and he now calls Minneapolis home, and he is up-and-coming comedian. Please welcome to the stage now, Mr. Chris May. Give it up for him.
What's up, Mankato? What color do I look in this light? How's it going, guys? Don't answer that. No. Man, glad to be here. My first time in Mankato ever. I'm excited to see a good crowd. You guys looking good. Some of y'all doing your thing. It's actually my birthday, y'all. Okay, it's actually my birthday week. It's a little different. I celebrated the entire week. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I just turned 34. I don't look it, I know. But I just turned 34, and what's funny is that my mom sent me this almanac thing from 1975, the year I was born, and it's like the creepiest, craziest shit I've seen in a long time. So it's just a breakdown of like all the stuff that was going on during the year I was born, like I really care, you know? Just kind of go through it. It goes through like the cars that was out at that time, like I could drive or something, or something I would be interested in. But I just found it very fascinating. Let me find this page real quick for you guys. Bear with me. Yeah, like right here. Like the 1975 Datsun was a big car at that time, and the Charger was a huge thing at that time. But the thing that caught my eye that was just so fascinating to me was 1975, your year in review, okay? Average income at that time, guys, catch this. $14,800. Average income, all right? Okay, new car, $4,200. Crazy, right? Okay, new house, $39,000. Okay, a loaf of bread, 36 cents. Okay, gallon of gas, 44 cents. Okay, not being aborted, priceless. Priceless, guys, priceless. So first I asked you guys earlier all the parents that was in the house. There's quite a few parents in here, and I'm actually a dad, and I have a son who's 7, and the thing that's so funny about being that age is that kids have no filters. Like they say whatever the hell they want to say, whatever's on their mind, any chance they get. You know, so my son comes like, hey dad, happy birthday, Dad, happy birthday. Heard you turned 34. That's old, ain't it? That's old, Dad. That's old. You got old balls, don't you, Dad? Dude, where do you get this shit from? Who says it? I think this kid, he has ADD because he just switches subject to subject during a conversation. You know, it's like, hey, Daddy, I went and saw the G.I. Joe movie the other day, Daddy. Hey, Daddy, do people in China eat cats and dogs, Daddy? It's like, and if they do, why did Mike Vick go to jail, Daddy? Why did Mike Vick go to jail? I was like, your call being redirected to Sprint. I'm figuring out what's going on. Let me just hang up. Can't deal with this right now, man. But what I want to do real quick, I want to play a little game with you guys to give you guys an opportunity to get to know the comedian Chris May and also the person Chris May. You guys up for a game real quick? Right. So what we're going to do, we'll play a quick game. It's called 2 Truths and a Lie. Okay? That's good shit, right? Okay, I'm giving you 2 truths about me and also 1 lie. You guys have to pick out which one is the lie. All right, you guys ready? Okay, y'all ready? Yeah! Let's get started. All right. Number 1. Letter A. I once masturbated and cried during the movie Beaches. That's A. Right? B. Okay? I once spent the night in jail and was given the nickname Sugar Tits. That's B. Alright? Letter C. I once faked the deaths of both grandparents in order to take a half day off at work. Alright? Now, who thinks A is true? I once masturbated and cried in movie pictures. B, who thinks I spent the night in jail was given the nickname Sugar Tits? Alright. And C, I faked the deaths of both grandparents. Who thinks that's true? You guys are good. You guys are good. Actually, A is false. I never masturbated and cried. Good job, guys. Good job. Alright. Move on to number 2 real quick. Alright.
He's never cried in a movie.
It happens sometimes. You never know that. It happens. Alright, number 2. Alright, I once gave a homeless man who asked for change 8 Chuck E. Cheese tokens. B, okay? I once auditioned for the TV show Love Connection. Be back in 2 and 2, Chuck Willie, you guys remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Alright, okay. C, I once farted in the elevator and had the nerve to yell out, "Who did that?" The old lady in the back. Alright, who thinks A is true? B, audition for Love Connection. We think that's true. And who thinks I farted in the elevator? You guys are wrong. Actually, I did not audition for Love Connection. So,
You're right.
A and C are correct. A and C are correct. Alright. Moving on, moving on. Alright. Number 3, guys. Ready? Number 3. Let's keep it rolling. Alright. I once broke up with a girl because when she slept, she looked just like the former WWF superstar, the Junkyard Dog. Okay, that's A. Right. B. I once had a threesome with an atheist and a Jehovah's Witness. One was like, "Oh God," the other was like, "No, God." C. Okay. I got so high once that the whole left side of my body felt paralyzed, and I thought this shit was hilarious. All right. Who thinks A is true? Broke up with the girl who looked like JYD. B, I had the threesome with the atheist and Jehovah's. Who think that's true? C, I once got so high I thought it was hilarious. Who think that's true? You guys are good. I did not have a threesome with the atheist and Jehovah's Witness, alright? They were Catholic, alright? One more, guys, one more? One more?
Yeah.
Last one, alright. 2 years ago, I introduced the movie 2 Girls in 1 Cup to my family during Thanksgiving dinner. Those of you who don't know what that is, ask one of your neighbors. All right? B, I once found a high school sweetheart who used to be on the dean's list on Craigslist. Okay? And C, I once masturbated and cried during the movie Amistad. Me one free. Anybody? No? Okay. Who thinks A is correct? Who thinks B is correct? High school sweetheart. And who think I masturbated and cried in the movie Amistad? That's correct. Actually, all 3 are true, guys. It happens. Sorry. Good movies. Anyway, what about unemployed people at? Unemployed people? Unemployed people? No, it's just fucking me? Seriously? Man, you guys suck. You guys stick together. My former job, I used to be an executive recruiter for a staffing agency. So I used to give interviews all day. And it was like the best job in the world. Because you got like 2 types of people. People who are real nervous about the interview, or people who are just a little bit too open for no apparent reason. You know, it happens. Because we gotta ask these serious, thought-provoking questions, like, if you can explain a time or give me a situation you can go back and change the outcome, you would. And I always get something crazy like, well, yeah, I was seeing this married guy once, and he said he was gonna leave his wife, but now I have herpes. I'm like, you do know this is an interview, right? She's like, yeah, but I would like to change the outcome of that. Like, that's a good point. Good job. That's a good point. So I keep going, It's like, okay, I said you work for Best Buy and for Sprint and for Coke, or different titles at each place. Well, what would you say is your favorite position? She's like, doggy style, hey. That's 2 strikes. That's 2 strikes already. 2 strikes already. So I keep going, I say, okay. What would you say is your greatest strength? This is what she got real serious on. She's like, well, I'm a team player. I can multitask. I can transition from project to project effortlessly. Okay, well, what would you say is your greatest weakness? She's like, crack cocaine, motherfucker, crack cocaine! I will kill you! Like, I don't think this is gonna be a good fit being a youth counselor, man. This is not gonna work out. It's not a good look. Not a good look at all. But I recently just started dating again, and the funny thing for me is that I've had these very interesting heart-to-heart conversations with women now, like some deep stuff. And the thing that's so crazy is that women find very fascinating that I've never masturbated. And they look at me like, you guys are looking at me right now, like I'm a fucking mythical creature of some sort, like whatever. And they always want to interrogate me, like, you know, like I'm on CSI Miami or, you know, First 48 or something, like, okay, you've never masturbated? You've never, ever in your life masturbated? You've never masturbated. You can look me dead in my eye and tell me you've never masturbated. Okay, you never choked your chicken before? Huh? You never rubbed one out? You never launched a hand show before? Huh? You never said a little private prayer at the First Church of the Holy Monkey? You never choked the sheriff and waited for the posse to arrive? You never smacked up the Oompa Loompa before? Huh? Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Are you sure? And I'm looking like, okay. Am I sure? Like, have I done any stuff? Like, have you ever pulled the Chuck Norris reverse Heimlich maneuver before? Like, what the hell is that? You've never squeezed the cream from the flesh Twinkie? You never engaged in hand-to-flesh combat? Huh? You never fired the flesh musket? Huh? You never punished Woodrow for uppity behavior? Huh? You never roughed up the suspects? I'm like, no, Grandma, no. And why you ask me this at church, huh? She's like, because you can't lie in the house of the Lord, boy, you can't lie. But you ain't lying. This is crazy. My family is just a bunch of idiots. They're crazy, they're really crazy. This drives me crazy. But speaking of idiots, how many of you guys seen the National Youth Spelling Bee for like 10, 11-year-olds? It was on TV recently. You guys saw that? That was the craziest thing to me. I was kind of disappointed. It must be black kids, and there's like one little black girl, Lucretia, on there. So I'm watching it, cheering for her or whatnot. So I'm waiting for her to get on. This little Tommy's up before her. And Tommy is dumb as a box of rocks, okay? It's like, Tommy, your word is cat. He's like, damn. Cat. Could you give me the origin of that word, sir? I'm yelling at the TV like, who the hell signed Tommy up? He's like, could you put that in a sentence, please, sir? I'm like, will somebody get Tommy dumbass off stage, please? So anybody? So Lucretia gets up, I'm excited, cheering for her and whatnot, and they just played her so bogus. And it's like, Lucretia, your word is slavery. I'm like, what? I'm on the TV like, this is some bull. As soon as I said that, she looked at the TV too like, this is some bull. And she's like, could you please use that sentence, please, sir? She's like, George Bush is still president. You could be enslaved. I'm like, what? Spelling bees have changed. Spelling bees have changed. Not what I'm used to, man. Not what I'm used to. But the only thing I really hate that like gets under my skin is people who do bad racial impressions. Because we all do racial impressions of each other, and people who do bad racial impressions really irritate me. But you know who gets the worst of it? Asian folks. They get the worst impressions ever. I told her, a buddy of mine was telling this story. He's like, yeah, and the girl came up to me and she's like, oh, me so horny. Me love you long time. Me sucky. I'm like, I've never in my life heard an Asian person say that, okay? Because if I did, I would so marry her, okay? You know how sexy that is? You come home from a hard day's work. Honey, I'm home. Oh, me so horny. Me sucky. Me love you long time. I would marry her and put a ring on her finger. Okay, just so I can hear her say, ooh, girl, he went to Jared. I just want to hear that just once, you know? Actually, I hate Jared. Fuck Jared. I hate seeing those commercials. Everybody's so happy. Good job, buddy. Good job. I hate seeing those commercials. I just don't like Jared. I went to Dave over at Pond America. That's what I went to. That's what I went to. I can't stand Jared. And I guarantee Dave can kick Jared's ass anytime, any day. Because fellas, you know, that's how we always solve our problems, is by violence, whatever. I don't know why. That's what we do. You know, and then it all started like back in school. You know, like, my dad can kick your dad's ass, man. I'm like, hey, man, You don't even know my dad, man. Hell, I don't even know my dad, man. Oh man, it's ridiculousness, man. Ridiculousness, man. But have you guys ever been thankful for stuff you like really shouldn't be thankful for? Yeah? No? Some of y'all? Well, I was at the strip club recently, okay? And I was getting a lap dance by a beautiful young lady. And all I kept thinking to myself was, man, girl, I'm so glad you got low self-esteem. So happy your daddy is not in your life. You could let all the time go to waste. Like, all the time go to waste. But the thing that was crazy for me, this is like the worst strip club I've been to in my life, okay? Like, the strippers didn't even have stripper names. Like, there was no Diamond, there was no Cinnamon, you know, there was no Lexus, nothing like that. Then they used their real names. So the DJ's like, hey fellas, get your money ready. Come to the stage, give it up for Gertrude Johnson. Like, that is not sexy at all. I'm like, hey, drop it like it's hot, dirty Gertie. Do your thing, girl, do your thing, you know? And it's like, while I was in there, it was like, I just kept staying, and like, the place was just horrible. Like, the DJ wasn't even spinning music. Like, the ladies had to use their ringtones from a cell phone to dance. Like, this place sucks. You know, so I stayed. There's another young lady comes up to me. She's like, would you like to dance? I was like, yeah, maybe. She's like, could you hold my baby? I'm like, what? I'm not paying $10 for this. So hold the baby, right? Okay. I'm no quitter. Okay. So he's like, are you my daddy? I'm like, what? And he's like, I like peanut butter. Like, will somebody get this kid, please? Anybody? Save me? You know? It was like, while I was there, I was really understanding that the economy's really bad. So there's like this 72-year-old lady in there working, and she was an ex-Walmart greeter who got laid off. But she's in there shaking and moving, doing her thing, working it. And I'm like, man, grandma, for your age, you showing how to move. She's like, no, baby, I got Parkinson's. I'm like, make it rain for you anyway, make it rain for you anyway. Help me get your prescriptions. Help you get your prescriptions, man. But mentioned earlier, guys, I'm actually originally from Chicago, born and raised, and I grew up around a lot of gang violence and gang lifestyle, just growing up, seeing a lot of stuff. And the thing that I find really interesting now is how corporate America imitates gang life. And consumers are so loyal to their gang, it's like ridiculous. Like, people who go to Target, do not fuck with Walmart. Okay? People go to Walmart, do not mess with Target. It's the craziest mess. Like, Target's red, Walmart's blue. It's gang life all day. Gang life all day. So, case in point, I'm at Target the other day, and this little minivan full of 45-year-old soccer moms come out, and they jump out smacking folks, throwing up Walmart gang signs for Walmart. Walmart represent. Prices. I'm like, what? Like, let me pull over. This is about to get good. So I pull over, and then these 50-year-old Sex and the City desperate housewives come running out of Target, talking about Target. Then this old lady come around the back, talking about roll back these prices, trick. I look up, it's the old lady from the strip club, y'all. I'm like, ain't you still on probation from that Walgreens CVS beef lady? You need to sit it down, sit it on down. But originally I tell you guys, I had a real crazy, interesting family, and I have this aunt who goes to work every day. She refuses to drive, so she gets the bus every day. And the funny thing that happened to her was, she got off of work, and she gets off the bus, walks down the street 1 block to her house, and they open up a pet store in the middle of the block for her. So, like clockwork, she got off of work, was walking down the street, and this parakeet at the new pet store jumped up. And the parakeet was like, hey lady, you're the ugliest lady I've ever seen in my life. And she looks all confused, she's like, what the hell's going on? So she keeps walking. So next day, she gets off the bus, like clockwork, goes down the street, the parakeet comes back to the window. It's like, hey lady! She's like, what? Like, you're the ugliest lady I've ever seen in my life, go kill yourself. And she's like, what the fuck? She flips the bird off and keeps going home. So the third day, she gets off the bus, okay, walks down the street, and parakeet's like, hey lady! She's like, what? You're the ugliest lady I've seen in my life, go kill yourself. She's just pissed off at this point, goes to the store and tells the owner, like, hey, this bird is like disrespecting me, I can't deal with this right now. So the owner says, okay lady, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. So the next day she gets off work, walks down the street, and the parakeet's like, hey lady! She's like, what? He's like, you know. That's creepy. But I told you guys earlier about my son, who's 7, with the mouth from hell almost, basically. And like I told you, he has no filter, and he just says whatever he wants. And was at the grocery store recently with this dude, why I don't know. And was going to the checkout line, guy standing in front of us. And he's like, hey, mister, how come your teeth are so yellow? I'm like, dude, that's not okay. He's like, but yeah, daddy, doesn't yellow mean slow down, yellow mean slow down? He's like, yeah. He's like, hey, mister, slow down, mister, slow down. I'm like, dude, you can't just say stuff like that to people. He's like, but daddy, his teeth look like the sun, daddy, I'm blind, I can't see anything, daddy, save me, let's go, I'm sorry, miss, let's just go. So I decided to actually take a road trip with my son from Chicago to Minneapolis. And that's, those who know, it's a 7-hour road trip. And that was the road trip from hell, okay? Just because my son has all these questions, soon we get in the car, he's like, hey daddy, hey daddy, hey daddy, hey daddy, hey daddy, hey daddy, are you listening, daddy, are you listening, daddy? Hey daddy, hey daddy, hey daddy, hey daddy, what does SOB mean, daddy? What does SOB mean, daddy, huh? No, because mommy always call you a lazy SOB, daddy. What does that mean, daddy? Is that something good, daddy? Is that good, daddy? Hey daddy, I got a friend, Charles, at school, daddy, and he lost his hand in an accident, so all he gets is a little nub, daddy. Y'all trying to shake my hand with that nub, daddy. I don't like touching that thing, daddy. I don't like touching that thing at all, daddy. I got no love for the nub, daddy. Does that make me a bad person? That make me a bad person, daddy? Daddy, how come there's no ham and hamburger, daddy? We should take this back to McDonald's, daddy. Get our money back, call it a better business deal, daddy. What you think about that, daddy? Huh, daddy? Hey, daddy, I went to a wedding with mommy recently, and oh yeah, mommy said she would never marry you because you can't keep something in your pants, daddy. What does that mean, daddy? What does that mean, daddy? She talking about change, daddy, like Barack, is that change for the better, daddy? What does that mean, daddy, huh? Hey, daddy, how come whenever I go to the bathroom and gotta do number 2, I always gotta do number 1, daddy, like a combo meal, like they go together? Why is that, daddy? But whenever I do number 1, I don't have to do number 2, daddy. Is something wrong with me? I gotta take one or something, daddy. Is there something wrong with me, daddy? Hey, daddy, remember my friend Charles at school, daddy? Charles the nub, I got no love for the nub, Charles, daddy. He go get mad at me, daddy, because I said that milk and cheese came from a cow. He said, his milk and cheese come from the government. I was like, what? Is that what that mean, daddy? Huh? Hey, daddy, what is semen, daddy? What is semen, daddy? Huh? Is that like Aquaman? Because he live in the sea, daddy. I was wondering, because I was watching TV and this lady had semen on her dress, daddy, and I was thinking, that must be a big old dress. Aquaman can fit in that dress, daddy. Hey, daddy, do you have to be gay to go to IKEA, daddy, huh? Daddy? Because whenever we go, you always say, this is gay as hell. Is that what that means, daddy? And it was at that very moment, I had like my very first parent experience where I'm looking at this kid like, man, he's really inquisitive, he's got all these questions, he's learning about life. But at that same moment, I had my very first father experience. I'm looking at this kid like, man, if I only would have pulled out. All I had to do was pull out. Man, Mankato, that's my time, guys.